So being a lawyer is one of those jobs like being a doctor or an architect, and you spend years and years qualifying for the role, and then you have a job for life. Except for me, I spent about 4 or 5 years qualifying to be a lawyer, and then 4 or 5 years thinking, how am I going to get myself out of this job? Whilst I was there, working all hours of the day in a small glass box on the 25th floor, I noticed a problem. I saw Sasha freeze every time a partner or a senior member of staff walked into the office. I saw Kartik afraid to ask for help for fear of looking stupid in front of his colleagues. I saw George avoid picking up the phone because he didn't know how to deal with the clients. I saw smart young adults starting at one of the best law firms in the world, technically brilliant, amazing CVs and credentials and exam results, but so often lacking the interpersonal skills. I saw the same problem in a totally different setting, in a different role. So I'm also governor of a school, and it's a school in South London for 16 to 18-year-olds. And in your role as governor, you get the opportunity every term to go in and sit in meetings. You're effectively kind of testing, are the teachers doing their jobs properly? Anyway, I've sat in on maths lessons, I've sat in on biology lessons where they teach you about photosynthesis and cells in your body and all of the organs. And I remember 4 years ago, looking out of the window and thinking, we're preparing all of these students to sit exams and to memorize things, but are we really preparing them for the world of work and life? No one teaches you how to speak up when you're the most junior person sitting round a table. No one teaches you how to respond to your best friend when they call you and say, my dad's got cancer. No one teaches you to manage that conversation with your boss when they ask you, is your heart really in this? In 2020, my manager asked me that question. And I remember at the time sitting in the room and feeling like the walls were closing in on me and feeling that sinking feeling of having to confront what I knew deep down, which is that I didn't want to be a lawyer for the rest of my life. I didn't want to get on the tube every day and tap my Oyster card and take the lift to the 25th floor and sit in that glass box. I knew that I wanted to do something that would fulfill me. And so on the 22nd of June, 2021, I handed in my resignation notice. It was 3 lines, so probably the shortest drafting task I had ever done. And at the time, I think most people thought I was pretty bonkers, including my mum, who is in the room today. I left one of the most risk-averse professions in the world to then take on one of the riskiest jobs and to co-found my own business to address this problem that I had seen. And today, I want to share with you what I've learned over the past 4 years. For years, skills like communication, teamwork, networking, leadership are referred to as soft skills. And I've always really hated that term because it implies that they're fluffy, or they're nice to have, or they're secondary. And in reality, I believe that these skills should be called human skills because they're what makes us unique and what makes us stand out. Hard skills are the challenging ones to teach, but they define what we as humans can do. I'm going to share with you 3 myths about human skills. The first myth, people think that you can't measure human skills. So I'm sure there's many people today wearing a wearable, some sort of fitness tracker or a ring. You're tracking your O2 levels, your hormones, your fitness. So if we can track our physical abilities, why can't you measure your human skills? Over the last few years, we've worked with world-leading psychometricians to develop a human skills framework. And this is based on 31 human skills. This allows us to identify what an individual's human skills strengths are and what their weaknesses are. And that gives a very personalized ability to track and measure changes to those skills. The second myth is that people think you're either born a good communicator or you're not, or you're born to be on stage, or you're born to be a leader, and that these skills can't be developed. But actually, human skills don't work like that. Like any sport or musical instrument or language, you need to practice these human skills to get better. When I was younger, I wanted to play lacrosse for England. And so all I did day in, day out for years was practice. Throwing a ball against a wall, playing with school friends, playing in matches. And when it came to that final trial, I actually wasn't afraid because I had spent so much time practicing that I felt capable and confident. Imagine if we all spent that same amount of time investing in our human skills as we do our fitness, as we do going to the gym or lifting weights. We have seen that people who have targeted human skills development improve their teamwork abilities by up to 23% and improve their communication skills by up to 15%. The final myth is that people think that human skills aren't important. Technical skills are often perceived to be the ones that will get you the job. But actually, large workforce studies have proven the opposite. Human skills are really crucial to hiring, promoting, and getting you as a leader that position. In 2022, over 21 million jobs were analysed, and 5 of the top skills in those job adverts were all human skills. So if you want to be hired, if you want to be promoted, if you want to get that big job, you really need to be working on and developing your human skills. So now we know 3 things. Human skills are measurable, human skills are teachable, and human skills are what makes all of us unique. I truly believe that human skills matter now more than ever. We're living in this world of AI and technology and automation. And AI has an amazing ability to remove a lot of the low-value, mundane tasks. There's incredible possibilities. It does raise a crucial question, though. Where will we as humans stand out? It will no longer be drafting documents or reviewing large documents as I did in my old previous job as a lawyer. The skills that will make us unique are the ones that we're forgetting to teach. We need to teach people how to read a room, how to create a strong first impression, how to ask questions, how to think critically, how to problem solve, how to think laterally. We need to teach adaptability, resilience, how to respond to negative feedback. We need to teach emotional intelligence. We need to teach how to build trust. We should be teaching human skills in every classroom, in every workplace, and in every boardroom. In the last few years, as well as starting a business, I've also had 2 children. And when I think about their future, I'm not actually worried about them living in a world of AI and technology. But I am worried about them living in a world devoid of human connection, where you get on the bus and no one looks at you or even speaks to you. When you walk into a shop and all that's there is automated machines, where children feel more comfortable looking at screens than they do in someone else's eyes. We are at a real risk of building a society and generations that are digitally connected, but emotionally disconnected. I want to finish my time with you today by saying that the skills that will set us apart in the future aren't the technical ones. They're the human skills, the power skills, the ones that take time and intention and repetitive practice, the ones that we can't afford to lose in this world of AI. The future doesn't belong to those that can think the fastest or that are the quickest or can outpace machines. The future belongs to those that can do what machines can't. To connect, to care, and to create meaning. Let's all elevate human skills. Thank you.